Good morning. Welcome in, everyone. It is a Sunday morning, and we are ready, huh? Homeless, you were first, and Fanuch, you were so close, so close. Good morning. How are you doing today? Yeah, there we go. Sophie treat. She's already here and ready. She's like, I know somebody's gonna do it. All right, let me switch to the Sophie cam. That's it. All right. So what is everybody? What's everyone up to? I did a lot yesterday. I mean, I always do, but um, I streamed. Then I worked for I don't know, 2.5 hours. Then I switched over and started working on organizing the closet upstairs because it's full, and it's just the closet like we shove things in, from extra like blankets and sheets and uh like decorations and all that crap, right? So it's all shoved into the same closet. So uh I pulled like everything out of the closet and started going through it. I was like, no, there's not enough room. Things keep coming out into the rest of the house, and yeah, bit of a pain, but it needs done, right? So Panuch, you were doing video editing. Nice. Oh, I don't know. You can sort of hear it. You got a room closet, yeah. So right here is the AT-AT from Mandalorian, where Mando's climbing it. It's the popcorn bucket. So I shoved it up there. Now you have stuff on your gaming table, yeah. So we have a whole room that's like a crafting room. Um, it also has a pretty full closet. And then we turned one of the bedrooms upstairs into a TV room. Uh, yeah, but it's the hallway closet I'm currently working on. Sometimes I'm just like, there's just too much stuff, and it needs to be like whittled down. Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. Oh, so y'all maybe like this. I got a AIPI device, right? So this little thing here, it's a just basically a little circuit board computer, nothing major, right? And once you plug it in, you can load your API like chatbot stuff into it and sort of design your own chat, and it'll talk to you. It's great for like taking with you, right? Let's say you load it with, I don't know, survival stuff or off-road things, and you're like, oh, I need to know this. How do I don't know, something simple like start a fire. It will tell you because it'll look it up, right? So you can load it with information and then be able to take it with you. uh, and I'm making it so that it's going to run on solar, right? So just this little thing. It's got a USB-C here. I'll have it plugged into like a little solar device, and that way I can take it and it'll just work off of off grid. Yeah, it's a initial design, right? Because I want to make a actual off grid AI device, right? that has a bigger screen to it. You can be able to see your maps, that kind of stuff. And I want to load it with like survival things, how to repair your like vehicles, that kind of stuff, you know, and put it all into it. That's kind of a side project. Secret Harbor, good morning. How are you doing today? All right. Outside of that, I last night I got to play Diablo a little bit. Jeepin and I worked on our characters in Diablo 4, continuing to move through the story with her. Yeah, it's fun. Oh, you know what we need? We need some music on. There we go. Oh, desktop audio. Okay. Anybody have any new game news since yesterday? Did anybody play anything fun? The Secret Harbor, what are you up to today? We're taking it easy this weekend, right? We're not really going anywhere. We're not really doing anything. Next weekend, though, we are going camping, and that'll be fun. So we'll be gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we're going with the off-road group. We're going north of here, and we're camping along one of the rivers. So it'll be cool. Yeah, we love doing that stuff. All right. Well, I think we can drop over into our game window. All right, these are all the bundles I was looking at. This is all if you have the license for GameMaker or basically an account. I think it's all pretty much free anyways, right? These are all assets that you can get to be able to use and make games with, and it's all included with the GameMaker stuff. But I was just kind of looking at them, trying to get an idea. They got a decent number of stuff. Now, Heroes Trail, I made a whole game off of that. Yeah. All right. So, as always, if you like to draw or be part of the game dev design stuff, you can join the whiteboard, right? So you can click the link at the top of the chat. You can come in here, you can draw, or, you know, come over here and let's start. We can work on some game design stuff. Secret Harbor, a Sophie treat. She appreciates those, right? There she is. All right, let's switch to the Sophie camera. Sophie's such a good girl. So, all right. What are we doing? Well, we need to start figuring out a couple things. Like weapons, items, that kind of stuff. We have, what did we do yesterday? We figured out the teleport to make it so that you can now go from here to the harbor and you come in here, right? And then you can travel through here. But right now, this is it. Oh, you know what we need? Probably not, but you know what we need? We need to make that a little bigger. That way, you don't actually walk off the map and just walk forever, right? Yeah, in Secret Harbor, I even made I put Sophie in the game here, and you can go up and pet Sophie, which is cool. All right. There was one thing I needed to try to do this morning. I think we're going to try to make it so that the companions follow a little better, right? They're a little offset. So we're going to run the game, and I'm going to kind of show what that is. Oh, I should add the Wisp here just real quick for testing. And Steven, welcome in. How you doing today? All right. So now we'll put the Wisp in there, and we'll run it. That way we can test it real quick. But we're going to change the way the companions follow the player. Because right now they're not following very, very good. So. All right. So we'll pick up the Wisp. All right. So we have Tavian, and we need the we need to fix that character too. There we are, the Wisp. So the problem I'm having is this, like they aren't following exact. They kind of line up a little weird. So we're going to try to change the way they follow a little bit. Now we're going to go into Tavian here. I have follow offset, but we want to make a new one called follow slot. And we're going to give it like 15, right? We're also going to do the same thing to the object for the Wisp. And we're going to offset it. Because we're going to have Tavian fault be the one that is directly behind the player. Then it'll be the Wisp. And I need parent companion. Target follow history. This is what I want to replace.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hello there. Democracy. Hello there. Another happy landing.
Hi, homeless. All right, variable slot equals variable instance exist. We're going to do our ID with hello again. Right. I don't need a double here. I accidentally put a double. I just need the one. Follow slot 0. Well, What did I just mess up? And right here. Is Sophie gumming a treat? She is ready for a treat. Yes. Welcome in, Flames. Good morning. How are you doing? You weren't on very long. I saw you on for just a little bit. Hello, fellow GameMaker dev. Excellent. Welcome in. And how are you doing today? Yeah, so what do you how was the rest of your stream? You got that update out? Nice. Yeah. See, that was better. You got some sleep, and you probably breezed through it this morning. No real issues or any of that stuff, right? I was like, oh, last night I was like, man, that's the worst. You're like, oh, you want to push through and do things, but then, you know, you make that one mistake, and next thing you know, you're like 2 hours in trying to fix it, and you're tired. So, oh, and I heard it. There was a Sophie treat. Homeless, thank you for the Sophie treat. For those that don't know, Sophie is the star of the stream, right? And I'm just kind of this co-star here. I am only here to be able to show her to everyone. That's it. So, yeah. Things are going well. Things are going well. Oh, Sophie loves the treats. She lives on treats, right? They're just real tiny little ones, so it's okay. But she lives on those. And it takes her just a couple minutes to eat one. Poor girl, she's approaching 10 years old and only has like 4 teeth left. So, but yeah. Hold on, we're gonna finish this. I was reorganizing the way the companions follow the player. What breed of dog is she? She is a Australian Shepherd Gordon Shetland mix. So a little bit of like sheepdog into her. Yeah. What am I doing? Array length. I need follow. History. All right. See, why do you do that? Just because I don't need that one. I don't need that one. There. Okay, equals follow history and slot. There we are. All right. That should work. So we're going to run the game. My famous words are should. So it should start. We'll see. All right, perfect. Oh, maybe not. There we go. It'll take OBS just a moment here to see it. So what I'm working on is a 2D RPG adventure, right? So we're going to pick up Companion 1. And they're only here for the testing. They're being placed out in the world a little bit. So we'll pick up, no, not this one. All right. There we go. The Wisp. I put them in a bad spot. All right. Well, it's not quite what I wanted. I mean, they are spaced, right? So when you're going, they're now evenly spaced apart. I'm trying to get them to be on the X a little more, so they're directly behind the player. But having a few little issues. Oh, and by the way, I did put Sophie in the game, right? So she's over here. You can go up, you can pet her, all the fun stuff, right? Trying to get companions to do what you want is a little tricky. So, Koala, you're a GameMaker dev as well. What type of stuff are you working on? And I like your name. You've used GameMaker for over a decade now, just making smaller projects. That's pretty cool. Let's hold on. Let me move a couple things. We're gonna take Gleb. We'll move Gleb to there. All right. I have only been doing. So I started learning game dev and programming, essentially, well, with game dev programming, like 2 years ago, just over it. Since then, I have worked on a number of projects. My longest one was Pixel Warrior. Took me about a year. I used the Hero Trail asset bundle and then expanded upon it, right? So this turned into a long game, multiple levels, that kind of stuff, and it took me about a year. Then I did a bunch of small stuff, right? So I did some initial game jam ones that are up here. Then I was like, you know what? That was a year, was a long time for me to do a project. I don't feel like I'm ready to do another one. So I switched to doing smaller 3-month projects. I did a Twitch avatar app, which is what you see running around the bottom of the screen. So I did that. Then I did a 3-month tower defense game, a balloon airlift, which is for a game jam. I did an RPG. So this RPG, and I did version 1, right? So that was 3 months. Start from scratch, built it up for 3 months. Then after that, at the beginning part of this year, I did a 3-month top-down shooter. Now, I am working on version 2 of the RPG, but I'm spending 6 months instead of 3. And that's kind of where I'm at with my game journey, right? I haven't sold anything. I'm still working my way up to it. So all this stuff is here, playable, downloadable, that kind of stuff, except for the Twitch app. But it's really just sort of part of the portfolio. Yeah, and that was part of the problem, right? When I originally was working through Pixel Warrior, I was having trouble with that. And I was like, after I was done with it, you know what? I need to rethink how I'm doing this. And I switched to doing small 3-month projects. And I made it a challenge. I said, at the end of the 3 months, we review whether or not the game was a success for the project, right? Then basically the following week I just switch into a new one. But like I said, now we're doing a 6-month project, right? So you can see version 1 of the RPG, and it's a browser play, right? And then you can sort of tell like where we're at right now. So for version 1, it ended up with 3 enemies, 3 quests, 3 biomes, being the grasslands, the marsh, and the cave system, right? But now we have an add-in. We have a ancient forest. We have a deeper marsh. I started making a harbor, so we have that. We have a cave system, which the original cave was like much smaller. It was only like that size, but now it's a lot bigger, and then it has stairs and it comes down, and I'm working on a level 2 for it. And yeah, so it's really a lot more expansion to it. And ignore the big red lines. Those are just, that's there to help me visually see where the zones switch. Because I made it so that when you cross the zones, it tells you, and the light system changes. Let me start the game up again here. And I may struggle just a little bit with the naming of the games. It is simply called the RPG. I know it's very creative, and yeah. Right. Oh, and I have added a weather system now. So it's currently cloudy. It has sunny, cloudy, stormy, and it does rain. So that's pretty cool. And then, like, here's that big red part, right? But when you cross it, it switches, and now you're into the marsh. It changes the music, the lighting changes. Yeah, the RPG. I always have high expectations, so hopefully it meets it. That's all. That's all. And all the NPCs in here are different people from chat, the local game dev guild, and some friends. And then I got a bunch of people that were like, "Oh, I want to be inside the pub," so they're in here. All right. The current project you're working on is a scope nightmare. Uh-oh. Did you name it Scope Creep? Procedural stuff. Okay. So what type of project, like, what are you doing with it? If it's something you want to keep private, you don't have to say anything either. Databases. Nice. Okay. All right. We need to fix Gleb. I copied another character to start making this one, and I did it wrong. All right, let's see. I need entity, actors, NPCs here. All right, right now we're going to take away all the dialogue here. Right? So there shouldn't be a dialogue now to it. And we don't need that anymore because it's not part of the bartender anymore. NPC conversations, distance. Okay, I think we're good. Arwen is still partially asleep. She is behind me, but she's still covered up in Secret Arbor. After the first break, she will be uncovered. So, Koala, it connects to a live Firebase database and saves procedurally generated stuff as players discover them. That sounds cool. That doesn't sound like it's a small project to me. It sounds like an actual project. All right, so we got everybody on top of each other, of course, here. So I do not see the chat bubbles, so that is working. Of course, there's Sophie. It is kind of a big project, true. Fun to work on it, though. Nice. All right, and don't forget, for those that joined, you are able to join in on the whiteboard, and you can come in here and either draw, or we can work, come up with suggestions and stuff for the game, right? So the link for it is at the top of chat. You don't have to sign up or anything. You can just join it as a guest. And, yeah, we just come in here and start trying to figure stuff out. Because I think we're almost right about where we need to be for creating, coming up with the items. And we also need to think about how the gear, being your armor, is going to work. That part, I'm not quite sure yet. So... I may have to change my character, like the player character, a little bit. I'm not sure yet, but I may. All right. Yeah, let's talk some items, right? My current dilemma is my player, like this, already has a sword in hand. Let me close out some of this. There was a... Okay. So... if I want to visually change the weapon as you find new weapons, at the moment, I would have to go in and change all the sprites, right? And there's a lot of them. So these are all the sprites for the player right there. I don't want to do it. So, we need to think about this. Does the player's sword ever really change? Probably not. Not maybe visually. So if I continue to keep this particular player, like this character, as my player, it'll only be on paper, essentially, right? That the weapon changes. So we're going to capture the player. We're going to put the player in here. All right, so now we have the idea, okay, maybe on a character sheet, which I don't have yet, although I bet I could make hold on, I got a bunch of things open here. We have art. What did I use? Character backpack. We could do something like this. I don't know if can I drop this in here? Yeah. All right, that'll work. We have roughly something like this, right? It's not as clean. I have a inventory bag, but I don't have the character stuff brought in, right? On paper, meaning in here, you could change your items. Right? So you could drop in different stuff and your stats and everything else will get changed. But the visual side of things won't. So this character, right? Like your weapon here won't necessarily change unless it's a visual thing. Maybe it glows, does something different, and you can add like a particle effect or another sprite for it on top of it. But I think that's the point, right? Like visually, for the way I have the game set up now, and maybe only for version 2, it doesn't change the way your character looks. It would take me probably a lot to redo the character. Yeah. So currently the game, so currently your game does the same thing, right? I mean, I wasn't thinking about it when I first made it. I was like, oh, this is great. You know, this is a nice little, character, runs around, does stuff. But now we're like, the last couple times we've talked about it, we're like, oh, what about gear? How, what, different armors and that kind of stuff. I'm thinking it's just going to be a paper change, right? And by that, I mean, like, you're only going to visually see it in stats or something. Yeah, exactly. It's not set up that way yet. And it would be a complete character change, which I'm not opposed to, but it's a lot. Yeah, 100% modular, right? Meaning you have a blank character that doesn't have the armor and stuff on it, and then you have to create these and make it so that they change based on what you have. I think that's a lot of work, right? Actually, you think here is a way you can do like something like it. It would color the pants differently. Yeah, so I'm sure there is, right? Maybe draw something or have something that overlays it so it gives it a different color. Maybe something like that. That might work. But I'm really like, at least the start, I think it's only going to be on paper, right? You can put the stat, like the items in, and you're wearing it, but your character is not going to change its look. Yeah, color coded, and then you can add a filter of a color on top of it. I would probably be a good one. Yeah, it's tough to come up with stuff, right? Because we're like, oh, if you have like different gear, helm, shoulders, all that stuff, it'll be that way, right? And your game has an elemental color system, though. I got you. Yeah, so your creatures in your games have different element types, and if they have multiple, it will color mix the palettes. Nice. That's actually pretty cool. For mine, right now, I only have the basic creatures. I got a rat, the lizard folk, and the skeletons. And mine, I'm doing turn-based combat, by the way. So let me get the game started here, and I'll show the combat. It is completely changed from version 1. I like the way it looks now. Version 1 is still turn-based, but it was only 4 buttons. That was it. Let me pick up the Tavian here, and I can show you what it looks like when you have a companion with you. All right, let's go into the cellar and fight some rats. All right, turn-based combat. A couple things. Obviously, I need to fix some graphical stuff, and my 2 buttons here, ignore. But this adds in battle focus, right? And action points into it. So when you're first starting the game, you have 6 action points. When you find your companion, they have 4. Right, they're slightly lower level than you. So the game started. It is my turn. That is random, though. It's not always your turn. Sometimes the enemies attack first. You hit an attack or skill or item, whatever you're choosing. But we're going to do attack, and it tells you how much the action points are for what you're choosing to do. Right. So we're going to say we'll do a light or a heavy attack, and I can pick the enemy. Now, this is melee, and at this level, I cannot get past the first row to attack the second row with melee. It is just random. It's not based on an actual stat. I've thought about making it for the speed stat, right? Making it so that it identifies who has the fastest speed, and that determines the order. But at the moment, it is only random. So we chose heavy attack. We're going to choose our target. We use up 2 AP. We can do it again. Right now, I made it so that if you defeat one of your enemies in the front row, one of the enemies, the one on the top, goes first, comes over and replaces the front row, like backup. Whoops. All right, so I got to end my turn. It now goes to one enemy, and they attacked Tavian. Now it is Tavian's turn, and you can choose auto attack or you can attack. Now, Tavian is a ranged character. They use a bow, right? So you can attack any character on the board. Okay. And here I have multiple different sounds for when the player is hurt, so it's not always the same sound you're hearing. Different tones, that kind of stuff. All right, so we'll kill off this one, and you'll see one of the enemies from the back come forward. And now, as a player, I can attack the front row. What I'm thinking of for one of the skills is you're going to be able to push, like, trample, essentially. You'll go through hit the first one and go past it a little bit to hit the second one. First enemy is going to take the most damage. Second one will take a little bit more. So I think we're going to turn on AP upgrade and DB unlocked, which is a skill for Dancing Blade, right? And then we'll end my turn. This is only here really for me to be able to show it. So now when we hit here, we have DB unlocked. So it shows special attack, Dancing Blade, and it hits all the enemies. It's a like AoE attack. Yeah, the dev cheat tools. Yeah, I got built them into it. So we'll hit it, and it hits every single one of them. But it uses up the most AP, right? So the other thing is you have battle focus up top, right? When you're in green, you gain focus. Like you're really concentrated, you're on there. You're prime. So you have in focus, you have +1 damage. You have negative, so it sounds opposite, but -1 AP cost. Things don't cost as much on the AP. So on your action points here. So everything is 1 less. Now, if I do something, let's say this, I'm into the red. Now everything will cost me 1 more action point because now you're kind of tired, right? That's the idea behind it. You're like, I'm getting drained. The way around that is when I'll show you when it gets back to my turn here. We'll just end your turn. Okay. You go to defend, and defend brings you into a little bubble and reduces your AP or your battle focus. I forget what percent I set it to, but it reduces it. So then you're basically like recharging. You're like, oh, I'm ready for the fight again. And now you're back to hopefully into the green. And that's how battle focus is being done for this. And cheating, I already have all the items from the first 3 quests on me because, cheating. Because the quests are given by the barkeep. So you can go in, talk to him, say, hey, I need quests. They're incremental. He's not going to show you more than what you're currently able to do. So the first one you're only able to do is the rats. Like, okay, it kind of paces you at first. So now I have the quest. I can hit my journal and see where it is. It shows me what the objectives are, how many items I have towards it, what my reward is. And now you can also turn in the stuff. And the barkeep has a shop. Treehouse Fire, good morning. Welcome in, and welcome to my world of game design. Yes. Koala, by the way, Treehouse Fire here is also another GameMaker dev. So I am showing some stuff on my game, right? This is the RPG. And this is the shop, right? We're growing, Koala. We're growing. Treehouse Fire also streams, new at the streaming. And I forget how long you've been using GameMaker. We're growing. We are. There is a good number of us, right? So yeah. Oh, Treehouse Fire. This is the code editor 2. Oh yeah. Oh, and Koala, have you seen what GameMaker is doing with 3D? They're really expanding all their 3D stuff, and they're putting out a new GameMaker version just for like 3D. Where was that? That was on release notes. Was it Maze? They have, yeah, it's they talked about it. Now I'll have to see if I can find it. That may not be it. Oh, I forget where I put that, but yes, they are. You use GameMaker LTS, perfect. Yeah, they have a new one coming out. Was it this one in here? Under here. Yeah, Code Editor 2, which is what I use. I use the beta version, but I use it. They're adding a particle editor into it. So that's being added, which I'm really happy for, right? Because otherwise I'm editing that stuff all the time off of here. Yeah, if you want here. So everyone can review that as well. There is the link for the this release. They're adding package managers into the IDE. They are doing a prefab library of some sort, which is their prefab stuff, I think. They are also, let me see if this particular one is going to talk about it. There was one update that talked about, let me look at it. Maybe it is this. Somewhere down the road, they were GMD2 runtime. No, welcome tab, code editor 2. They are, here. I think it's RT. GMRT is a completely new runtime, and that is going to be the 3D model one. Yeah, so it's a whole different thing. I don't see music yet. It's coming. Prefab library. Yeah. filters, AVG. No, it doesn't look like music is built onto this one. Right? Yeah, no, not yet. But it's coming. By the way, folks, I see there is ads coming. I know. It happens once an hour. But they're coming. In about maybe 15, 20 seconds here, the ad break is going to hit. I am going to take a be right back during that time. I need some more coffee. And I have to uncover Arwen, the 5-year-old Quaker parrot who sits behind me. Secret Harbor, you're getting off now. I appreciate you being here. And I hope you have a great day. And yeah. Oh, and Treehouse, this is Code Editor 2. You see how like my create event up here on the top, right? And then my step event is right below it. And alarms, draw GUI. It makes it so it's all in one contained place. And over here on the side, you can see the different compartments and click and change between them. Between you like the different events. So that is Code Editor 2. Thanks, Secret Harbor. I appreciate it. And there are the ads. Okay. I am going to turn the music back on. I'm going to take a quick be right back. So I will see everybody in a moment. Now's a good time to grab some coffee, get up and stretch, do what you need to, and I'll see you in a few moments. It took me a little bit longer. When I uncovered Arwen, I had to feed her. Her food was just about out. And I'd read, she can see the bottom of the bowl. I know. All right. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Code Editor 2. I love Code Editor 2. I have tried. I can't go back. Where you have individual, you have the object, and then you have the individual events and a line connecting them, right? This just makes it all so it's nice, easy to read, straight one thing. So, all right. Treehouse, are you still there? How does it work with debugging? When it works the same way. So when you run something, right? And if there's an issue, I don't know, let's mess something up. How about let's see. Calzar, welcome in. Oh, new GameMaker, how you liking it? I am still on the 2024.14. Code Editor 2 was in beta here. So you can come in to your preferences, go down Code Editor 2 beta, and turn it on. I really enjoy Code Editor 2. It is not the newest or the LDS or any of that stuff. But debugging works really nice with it. Obviously, you have all the stuff down here. When it finds something, it highlights it. It puts it straight into the debugger and shows it, right? So I don't have a problem with it. I like how the debugging works because it will put your, like, one of the objects in here wherever the issue is and highlight where the problem is. Oh, Treehouse, I was going to show you how another way to do path, to make a path, right? Calzar, yeah, nice. It's been a while since you've used GameMaker. You moved to Unity for 3D capabilities, but always have a soft spot for GM. Nice. Yeah, this is on the current version of the 2024.14. They are coming out with some new stuff. And I'll post this back in here again. This is their release notes. So they are coming out with I think it's already out. The long-term stable is already out. They are coming out with different runtime versions, like GMTR or RT for the 3D one. So they're working pretty good and coming forward with a lot of stuff. All right. So any issues with multiple versions? Multiple versions, how? Like multiple versions of the IDE itself? Because I have two. I have the 2024 mod one, and I have the beta one. Yes. Yeah, you can. You can have multiple different versions and running. I don't have an issue. Like, I'll use the beta one and this one, and I'm pretty good with it. Although I try not to necessarily move projects between them back and forth. You may run into a problem doing that, but you can have different versions on your computer and run each one for something different. Yeah. You need to take the dive. I forget what version you're on, but I would like. I'm using the Steam one, but the 2024.14 or the new LTS, the long-term stable one, is probably the one you want to be on, right? It comes with, Code Editor 2 built in. It's all good. It's been tested for a while. I really enjoy it. It just makes it easier. And plus, I like seeing all the stuff right here on the side for the object, right? And I'm like, oh, if I want this, it also highlight some of the stuff in there so you can visually see it real fast. And be like, oh, I want to be there. And you click it, and it auto takes you to that event. So I really like it. And then yesterday, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a lot like a lot of the other IDEs. I know we talked about how to do a path. Now, I do it multiple ways, right? In here, I'm also doing a walk path. So walk, waypoints, and listing the waypoints, right? I do it that way too. Or you can tell your character to follow a particular path by drawing the path. So I'm going to show you, I'll show that, right? What you need to do is over here, first, you create a path. Okay. So now it's in here. And it opens up this whole section here. What you do next is over in the asset area, you create it's partly off the screen here, but you open up creating an asset and you click on path and you create it. So now we have a path here, right? We're just going to call it path 1. You go back to wherever my room went, here, and you click on path that you created in the layer, and where it says no path, you type in what you have over in the asset browser. So path 1. So path 1 connects to path 1. Now, when I click, there is a point. And then I can say here to there. I'm going to make a walk up there, down to here, right? And let's say I want to make it into a loop. I can bring it back and bring it up. And it's saving all the path for you right here. You can change the color of the path, right? I don't know. Let's make it green. I want it to be more smooth instead of these sharp turns, so you can angle it. And then you can close it. So now it's a loop. And that's all done right here. Yeah, you can. When you go, is it here? When you click in here, over on the asset side, so when you double click your asset for this, it brings you in here. So you can visually see what your coordinates are that way, right? Yeah, so that's just one particular way to do it. It's kind of structured. They won't deviate from that path, right? So if, oh, and then you need a character. Let's say this, whoops, this NPC, right here, you need to tell it a variable. So down in your variable definitions, you need to do path to follow is the variable you set, and you tell it the path name from here in your on here, and it will connect that character to it. Now, they're not going to deviate, right? So if they're on here, they will follow the path exactly, right? And that's it. They're not going to really follow. Like if you wanted to chase the player, it's not going to do that. It stays on the path. It's very good for like a number of things, but it does have its limitations. So anyways, that is how you do it. And then you have a whole bunch of paths everywhere. I used it 100% on my Pixel Warrior 2D dungeon crawl. Every single one of my enemies in there was on a path. Right? So that's where I used it the most. It can be ABS or realm. Yeah. All right, let me delete this path off of here. Delete it from there. I'll delete it over there. But now I just have like my NPCs on wander. So they just kind of do their own thing. And I don't really have to worry about it. You know, they're in states. They follow different places and be like, oh, I'm going to go over here a little bit. Move distance, speed, all that fun stuff. Yeah, you're welcome. I was talking about it. I was like, oh, sometimes it's easier just to see it. At least that's how I work, right? So I'm like, okay, I need to be able to see it. I was like, yeah, just, you know. It's not for, you know, it's not all the time. Like, none of my characters in here have it. I may, if I have a sentry at some point for something, or I want it to follow exact. Now, that being said, this character here, the white bubble, activates after you complete the third quest. And it comes in, and it wanders over to here, right? When that happens, it's not a very straight line. Like, it wanders a little bit. It looks a little drunk. We'll say that, right? But it makes it over to where it needs to be. And Paul the Lumberjack is using this style walking. I just say walk path, walk waypoints equal, and then I list my waypoints. So this is, the top one is to get where it's going, and then I reverse it to make the character leave the scene or the zone, right? Path start drunk wander, yes. Yeah. Yeah, and it should be, you would think, just be a straight line. I'll show you here. Let me turn in a couple quests and activate it, and yeah, you'll see. He just wanders a little bit. That's all. Waiting for OBS here. All right. Since I'm cheating, I have the items from all first of the 3 quests on me. We'll go in to the pub and brewer. The barkeep is the initializer of the first 3 quests, right? So you got to say, hi, how you, whatever, this, what do you need? I need a job. Great. It's got a few. It's only going to show you what you can do at that time, right? So the first one is rats, because every good RPG starts with killing rats. So you got to go fight them in the basement. And my stuff is turn-based combat, right? So we'll do one of the combats so you can see it. Up here, I have battle focus, which either if you're in green, it helps you. If you're in red, it hinders you. Then I have whose turn it is, and you can highlight them and see which one it is. Character portrait down here showing my action points in the HP and my actions over here. So we'll say, heavy attack. First one, heavy attack. We'll do another one. I have 2 action points left. I can do one more, and we'll do that. That is my turn. And I made it so that you can't attack the second row just off the start, and the second row can't attack you because they're melee, right? Brent, welcome in. Sophie knows when I say your name that she gets a treat. It'll be in just a minute. No, did you win? No. I think Panuch was like in the first 5 minutes of me streaming. Panuch was like, Sophie treat. Right? Anyways, this is the way the combat works. And we'll run. And we'll go back up to here. So, by the way, Treehouse Fire and Koala, if you are still around. Brent Brother is also another game maker streamer. And Brent has designed the Easy Skill Tree loader, which is what I'm going to be using to build my skill tree off in this game. So he built that engine. Do I still have your stuff linked up here? No. But before I forget, let me switch over here. We'll go to the big camera. We'll bring in Sophie. Come here, Soph. There. Brent, Treehouse Fire is another game maker dev who is fairly new at streaming and working their way. Panucci, yeah. Brett, you were in the stream earlier. Didn't say hi. Was in your stream too. Yeah. That would have been last night. Time dilation, Brent. Brent lives in Australia, and the hours are different. So it always gets confusing because you're always in the next day. Yeah. I know. It's like, for me, it is almost 8:30 in the morning. Tumont, welcome in. Sheep. Would you like to see the sheep? But sheep. Yes. The sheep. Right there. Sheep. So the sheep I made for my tower defense game, and it was just in little places and people could see it. But now it's in its full size here in the RPG. Tumont is another game maker. No, sorry. Another game dev. You use Unity and Godot, right? All right, we're going to turn in a quest. We're going to pick up the next one. We'll turn in that. And we need more sheep. Yes, we'll get more sheep in there. All right, so we're going to turn this one in. here. Yes, mainly Unity, but at the moment, participating in a jam with your first Godot game. Excellent. And I don't know if you can hear her, but the little muttering mumbles that you hear is Arwen, the 5-year-old Quaker parrot, who sits behind me. And she's just talking because she thinks I'm sitting here talking to her, even though I'm facing away from her. She doesn't understand. She's like, "Are you talking to me? I hear you talking. You must be talking to me." So she's sitting there responding. All right. We'll finish off this quest. It's great. Take care of it. And wow, you made it back. Yep. All right. So now we have completed the first 3 quests. I cheated. I know. I turned in the items for it. But we finished the first 3 quests. When we come out, Paul, the lumberjack, is down here. He started up here. He kind of wanders wherever he wants, but you can see he's making his way over, right? He's a little drunk. He'll hit his point and then turn and go up. I feel it kind of makes it natural. He's not walking very straight, but he's okay, you know? So then Paul shows up. You got to do a couple things, and when you complete the quest for him, he gets rid of the tree, because Paul the lumberjack, right? Makes me think of Paul Bunyan. Deletes this out of the tree that's fallen, chop it up, and now you can access the next zone. And the only other thing slowly working on is the harbor. Got to work on the cave a little bit more. And everybody that is in the game is people from chat, the local game dev guild, and some friends, right? And of course, you can come over here and give Sophie a treat. So that's where I'm at. Panuch and Brent have a competition going on to see who can get to the stream first to be able to give Sophie a treat. Oh, did I say that too many times? Now you need something? Huh? You're just gonna have to hold on. There it is. Homeless to the rescue with the Sophie treat. Because Sophie is the star here, right? That's it. All right. Where was I? This is the world so far, right? We have the grasslands up in this top corner. We have a marsh area down here. So when you're doing the questing, like the first one is the rats, right? That's going to be in the basement of the tavern. Then it sends you to take care of the lizard folk. They're going to be down here. And while you're down here, there is a cave, but you can't go into it until you can go in, but you can't see anything, right? You need the wisp, which is, over here, to be able to see it. But you turn in the quest for the lizard folk, you get the quest for the skeletons, and I now have the barkeep telling you, hey, Tavian has been missing, right? He went into the cave a couple of days ago, hasn't come out. People are getting worried. So that now entices you when you go into the cave, right, to explore the whole thing. And as you explore, you'll find the stairs, you'll go down to the next level, and I still have to build this level, but then Tavian is down here somewhere. and you rescue Tavian. Tavian joins your party. You fight a couple little things, and then you have your first boss, right? So that's how that's working. And then after you turn in the skeleton thing, Paul, which is here, wanders up to here, has a couple, one thing you got to do, he's got to get his axe sharpened, right? So you're going to need to take his axe over to the blacksmith, which is up here, and get it sharpened, take the axe back to Paul, and he clears away the log here, and then tells you about the ancient forest, and that there's a witch in the ancient forest who sells potions, but you probably wouldn't want to mess with her, right? But after Paul disappears, he clears this one, and now you can access the ancient forest from the marsh or up here. And then the deep marsh is still locked off right now. What, Arwen? And I'm slowly building the scenery on the ancient forest. I'm trying to make sure I get it layered properly so that when you're walking around, everything looks correct. Which means most of it is I got to work from the top down. That's all. Red area is the boundary. Yes, it is only it's a little visual. It's, you know, I have it there for in the game. So, and I'll show you. When you cross the boundary, a couple things happen. And I'll show you. All right. Visually, I'm going to see it here. We'll come down. Okay, so here's the barrier, right? When I cross, it now tells me I'm in the marsh. The lighting has changed and the music changed. So it makes it a little more dark, a little more creepy. Different style music, right? And of course, the lizard people. And then when you cross it, the grasslands, now you're in the grasslands, right? I also have it so that if I go over here, enter the harbor, you can go in. I now have the harbor. I'm working on it still. And
when I left you, I was but the master. Now I am still the master.
You are still the master. Gleb, good morning. And this is the harbor. Gleb, I hope you know you are now in the game. Yes. And Gleb, you will always be the master with GameMaker. Right? So for those that don't know, Gleb is also a GameMaker dev. You had a tool that won GameMaker's award last year for Room Loader, wasn't it? And let me see if I can find you. There you are. You're right here. You're walking around, but you're in the game. Yeah. See? And the weather system is working good. It's cloudy at the moment, so it tells you the game time. It tells you your real time. It tells you what day you're on and the weather, right? Cheating. I can hit through it. This is stormy, so it rains. You can probably see it a little bit. You can see it on stream, the particles for the rain, right? And then it switches, and this is sunny. Yeah, Room Loader. Yep. You just released a big, new big update for that yesterday. Got a sick logo. Gleb, feel free to post a link to your room loader, so people can check it out. All right, there it is. This will take you to room loader for GameMaker, which won the awards an award for it last year, and yeah, it's looking good. Room transition. How Gleb, how does your stuff work with room transitions? All right. On we'll switch back to one of our topics, right? So we were talking about gear. And trying to figure out how we want this to work. It's basically going to be this is all right. So this is the current player, right? It's not really going to change. Everything's going to be on paper, essentially. You're going to see it. We'll add in like a little character sheet. You're going to see maybe your stats. Well, right now, you just walk. You hike. What would you like your character to do? You love hiking? Perfect. That's what you're doing. Brent, when you find Brent in the game, right? Brent's right here. Brent is the information broker and has lots of topics to talk about. Right? These are all the different hints. You got game hints, you got random facts, you got jokes. So this is all Brent's dialogue stuff. Yeah, you got dad jokes. You got a bunch of them. They're right here. So that is all Brent's dialogue. And made it so it all branches out and you can have all the options for it, right? So I guess it depends what you want your character to do. Because right now, you're right here. You're just kind of hiking. You're just walking around. Brent, you're a dad to a dog, so that somewhat qualifies you for the role. True, true. I guess in that case, I have a dog and a parrot. Who is sitting here talking to me. She's right here. Like right behind me. Needs more doggo dad jokes. Could add that. We could add that. Right? And right now we have one sheep. Tomat was in here. Tomat loves the sheep. And again, I used the sheep. I made it for my tower defense game. But now I brought it into here. We'll put 3 sheep. How's that? Still there? Okay, now there's 3 sheep. It is. I've hidden the sheep in a couple different games now. So on here, the sheep is in the tower defense game. The sheep is in my balloon lift one. There's a tiny little hidden sheep somewhere in the top-down shooter, and now it's in the RPG, right? So, but yeah, now there's 3 of them. 3 sheep to the wind. Yes. Yep. I haven't figured out what to do with it. I may make even more, like a whole little area of like sheep. And I'm thinking about maybe even making a quest where you have to go and find the sheep that got away and bring it back. I started working on the blacksmith. I don't have a shop made yet for it. And this building is empty still. Doesn't have anything yet. But this is the pub, and it's called the Broken Mug. The mug is empty, so it's broken. Right? I know, Arwen. Sheep shears. Oh, okay. Hold on. All right. So, don't forget that you can join the web whiteboard, right? What is that? Well, at the top of my chat is the link. You can come in here as a guest. You can sit and draw. You can do kind of whatever, right? Or you can come over right over here and put down suggestions, things that you think should be in the game, that kind of stuff, right? Because we've talked about a breakdown on what different things are. We have gear, items, quest, all that fun stuff, right? And I think the items are going to be on paper. So you may be able to put the item into whatever your gear is into the slot. You'll gain the stats from it, but it's not visually going to show up. I think that's just going to be the easiest way to do this. Right? Yeah, the web whiteboard is a great thing. I just use the free one. So it makes it so that it's only available for 24 hours, which is perfect because I only stream for like 3 days a week, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and every stream is a different whiteboard. Now, I like these. I can take a screenshot of this, save it, and then bring it back over into the next one. And some people get in and really draw like a lot of stuff, which is kind of neat to see. All right, so we said, come down here. Items, right? Sheep, shears. So this will allow you to wool for armor. And then we just create a little one here. We'll do another little arrow like that. All right. So now we have sheep shears as an item. I don't really have items yet in the game. So now, like, I'm right at the point, I think, where we need to start figuring it out. I have some stuff. Like, I got potions and, you know, food and that kind of thing. But I don't have, like, items. I also don't... I don't know if I want to make it so you have to gather resources to make things. I don't want it to make it so it becomes grindy on the resource gathering. That happens, right? Where's the whiteboard link? It is pinned at the top of chat, but you can just click this one and it'll bring you here. You don't have to sign up. You can just join it as a guest and move around in it, right? It's got a couple of different things to it, right? So, like, you can pick different items, like a pen, whatever, different colors, you know, come here and draw whatever, you know. And stinkiness, so you need a gas mask. That's important to have. It is. It's Sunday, stinkiness happens. You know, people hold it in all week. It's just not very cool. So let it out. It's all good. Homeless. And Chumat coming in with the reverb. And Namat, you must have been holding that a while. All right. So now we have items, sheep shear. Why do you add the sheep shear? Wool for armor. Perfect. So, I was also thinking about this sprite sheets. Let's open up another one here. I think I was doing it under this one. Yeah, so this is the rats, right? And then at the bottom here, I put a dog in. I was trying to make it so the dog is going to be something you can find along the way, and it becomes another sort of like little companion if you want it. Just wanders and follows you around. Doesn't fight, doesn't do any of that stuff. It just follows behind you. Maybe it will help you find hidden items. You know, be like, hey, there's a treasure over there or something. But this is it. This is what I do. I make these giant sprite sheets, kind of like this, and I just throw all sorts of stuff on here. This one was from my top-down shooter, and when the player hit the enemies with the weapons, it had these action names. I can't remember the name for it. Homeless, if you're still there, you knew it. Some giant name. But this is it. So it was pretty cool. All right. Let's see. We have the Wisp. I don't see the Wisp out. Did I move it? We have the Wisp down here. The cave is sort of functioning. Let's go look at the cave, right? The cave lets you into it. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's going to be, this is your character. There might be different colors, like an overlay that goes over top of the player to give it a color, like look like you have different armor on. But I'm thinking it's only going to be on paper, right? You're going to see items on you and you'll see the stat change, but your character is going to be the same. Why? I didn't think that through. So when I made version 1 of the RPG, which is available on my itch page, this is it. This is your character. Well, it's not very modular. It's just the way it looks. And with that, there are a ton of character sprites, right? So these are all my sprites for just the player. Again, I didn't make it very modular, so they all have the sword, all that stuff to it, right? I should have made a character without the armor on, then it would have been easier to do. Why'd I start the game? Oh, the cave. So when you go down, and let's say you've done your thing, right? So we're in the marsh. You find the cave and you want to go in it. This is it. This is what happens, right? It's too dark to continue in here. There must be another way to light the path, right? You can walk around if you want, right? But you're not gonna be able to see anything more than this. So it makes it a little hard. What you need, which we leave. No, stay away from me. All right. Yeah, exactly. Enjoy staring at a black screen. We'll just run on this. So you find the wisp. You pick up the wisp. Oh, why are you here? Yeah, yada. I'm a wisp. Lizardfolk killed the party, and you can see sort of the party. He's good at useful things. Like what kind of things? For one thing, I can help you see in the dark in those nasty caves. But you're still young. He's got room to grow. You only get stronger. That sounds pretty good. Oh, can I go with you? Sure. Now you have a companion. You get the wisp. You come back up, and now you can see a wider zone, like a bigger radius around you. Right? But you had to get the wisp. All right. I do have some stuff that is game day related, right? So, like going to the witch, she's only available at night. You can't find her during the day. So she comes out at nighttime. So now I have stuff that's daytime, nighttime related. I'm working on something that might be weather related. So I'm adding that kind of stuff in there. But yeah, to answer your comment there, Treehouse, it'd be so much work to make it so that there was multiple sprites for every single thing, right? Being that it's just me doing all this, except for the skill tree. Easy skill tree. Why can I never find your itch page? There it is. This is it. Easy skill tree engine. Let me post it. This is by Brent. Right? What it does is it helps you design your skill tree. This tool looks really good. I know. I don't know who made it, but they were pretty impressive. It helps you design your skill tree, put things together, and it's cool, right? So you can click that link, run it, come in here and test some stuff, right? And you can click this and see it, right? This looks like it's the older one. But it is worthwhile. I have it. I am going to be using it for my skill tree inside the game. You're actually working on a new patch with some nice quality of life changes. Nice. I like the mug hanging from the tree. Anyways, if you're working on a GameMaker game, because it's designed for GameMaker. If you're working on a GameMaker game that has skill tree stuff in it, check out the Easy Skill Tree Engine by Brent. All right. Hold my beer. True. Brent has done a lot of cool stuff, right? Fat Pint, Easy Skill Tree Engine, Edge of Madness, Confetti Engine. Oh, by the way, Confetti Engine I also use, but it's not in my game. It's in my avatar. So the avatars you see running around the bottom of the screen, right, represent everybody that's sort of here. I have bots, I have random people, but I used it for Celebration, Channel Point. So that's it. And the sunflower launch, I just swapped out the confetti with the sunflowers. But I used it in a couple things. So you can also launch your avatar. It goes up, explodes, has some confetti, and comes back down. Is it launch? I don't even remember what my stuff is. Rocket. That's it. So you can launch yourself up in a little rocket, explodes, there it goes, and then you come down, right? Fart rocket? I don't have a fart rocket. I should have a fart rocket. That would be funny. Right? It's powered by your farts. But no, I don't have a fart rocket. That would be hilarious, I know. I do need to update some stuff on the avatar, so at some point I'll probably revisit that project and get it to update. I want to make it, I would love to make it so it interacts a little bit better with some more commands. So, but we'll see. Also, there's a lot of discussion and rumors going around about Stream Elements possibly shutting down. That's where a lot of my commands, some of my commands sit. So I want to move them into my own app, and so I don't have to worry about it. All right. Let's visit the web whiteboard. Look, we have a cheap sheep. Cheap sheep. Yeah, you say that fast 3 times. Right. All right. Item suggestions. That's what we need. Item suggestions. We have sheep shears. Why? Because you need to get the wool for your armor. What are some other items that people would like to see in the game? And remember, all the characters in my game that you see walking around are people from chat, the local game dev guild, and some friends. So if you would like a character with your name on it to be in the game, just let me know. Oh, it's been an hour. I see the notification. We're going to be having ads in about a minute. I know. Can't avoid them. It's like the void. It comes after you no matter what. We'll have a 3-minute ad break in probably about, 45 seconds here. But it's a good time for me to be able to get more coffee and get up and stretch. And it's a good time for everyone else to do that too. right? So Treehouse, I know you're just about, or you're just becoming an affiliate, which congrats on that, you know. So as soon as you accept it, turn it on, ads are going to be one of the first things you'll have to play with, right? For me, I run a starting soon at the beginning of the stream. I run ads then. And that makes it so that when the ads are done, I start my stream or I go live like into it, right? And it makes it so that every hour the stream, like the ads run for 3 minutes. 3 minutes is kind of the happy medium, right? You get sort of the best bang for your buck out of getting paid for your ads at running at 3 minutes. And it doesn't inundate your stream with ads. Now, there's a lot of other streamers here. They may have a different idea about how much they want to run their ads or how often they do it. I do it once an hour, and it usually, because of when I start my stream, ends up to be about every out, like on the hour. And speaking of, there they are. So I'm going to take a quick be right back. I will see everybody in just a few moments. Hang tight, and I'll be back. Okay, we are back. Everything reload? Yeah. There we go. Sometimes my stream deck doesn't want to work. Today, so far, so good. All right. Well, let's come here. Any new items? No. We also need to think. All right. So, what about different weapons? Right? Maybe we could start with that type of stuff. Players going to be kind of limited. You're going to be stuck with swords. Why? It's what I drew with the sprite. So, sword. We'll do a connection here. All right. Your starter sword. Starter. Right now, oh, let me open up my... I'm trying to find it. Where's my damage stuff? Where is my... Here it is. My spreadsheet. So on the spreadsheet, I have multiple tabs open, right? I got all kinds of stuff. On player item, I don't even have my weapon stuff put here yet.
Hello there. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello there. Another happy landing.
Have a happy landing. Who's joining? Jeep and Annie. Good morning. My wonderful wife is waking up. She does enjoy sleeping in on Sundays. I was just thinking about you, GB. I know you're streaming today. What time? It's 12:30, right? Is when you're thinking about streaming, or was it noon? And do you know what you're streaming today? Let's see. Yeah, 12:30. Okay, 12:30 Mountain Time. So in about what, 3.5 hours from now. Sword +1. How about tier 1? Then we'll have a tier 2. And we'll do a tier 3. So these are not going to be something you're going to just find quickly, right? So we'll have 3 different weapons, 3 different swords. That'll help. You're going to do Crimson Desert today? Nice. Yeah, there's so much new stuff in there. Yeah. That's just need to get back into it. Because we're both pretty far in. Like, she's chapter 8. I'm chapter 7. It's been a fun game. So she'll be streaming that today. All right, so we have a couple of things. We have weapons. We have the sword. We have weapons for your companion. He uses a bow. Right? And they're all going to be the same thing. You're going to have the starter, then you're going to have your bow tier 1. we'll have a bow tier 2. Oops. And your bow tier 3. Now, this is only the first companion. I do want it so you have another member that can join your party, right? So you'll end up with 2 fighting companions and a support character as the Wisp. So, J-Bent, we're talking about items in the game. We're also talking about how gear is going to work. It's not visually going to necessarily change the way your character looks, but you'll see the stat bonuses and change, right? So that's what I'm kind of hoping. You know, you put on something new and it changes the stats. That's all. But we have a sheep in here. We have a cheap sheep. Brent, you're going to be heading off for the night. It is late. Yeah, it's got to be what, 1, 2, something like that in the morning. Yeah, get some sleep. Thanks for the fun stream. I appreciate you being here. All right. So don't forget, Brent, I'm on tomorrow. You need to. Panucci's been on top of it. You're gonna have to, you know, be on top of things to beat him with the treat thing. All right. Talking items, right? So we have sword, bow. I mean, we have normal stuff like we have food, potions. Yeah. In the grasslands, I didn't. So, and looking at this made me think about it. Right here. So we have enemies, like world enemies. We have like rats. They're in the basement, right? Lizards are in the swamp marsh. Skeletons are in the cave. There's going to be some extra ones, but there's nothing really in the grasslands. So I was thinking here, there is some room to be able to have like an enemy up here, maybe wandering down here. Also, the harbor, right? When you come out here and you go this way, no, down here. When you go out this way, it takes you over to the harbor, and you have all this grasslands. And so I do need to come up with something for the player to do there. Right? I mean, granted, there's another cave up in here. There is going to be grasslands. I need to do the trees still. I just need to come up with some sort of enemy or something to interact with in the field here. And maybe there'll be sheep out here. That might be good. Yeah. Maybe I'll do sheep. What else are we thinking? So I was thinking maybe like 3 levels of a weapon. But and then we have sheep shears, so you can go shear the sheep to get wool for armor. If we're doing wool for armor, we probably need like leather for armor. because he's wearing a leather set. Let's do resources. We have wool for armor. We need to get leather for armor. So we're going to have to find something that can give leather. Yeah. What else? I don't want it to be a super heavy resource game, right? Because I don't want people to go out, and we have it in enough of our games. We have to go out there. We got to be able to gather resources all the time, right? And like Crimson Desert, the food resource, you're always getting food. Stuff to make your food. Fish, whatever, meats, you know. It's a lot. It is. So, we have wool, we have leather. Here's an idea. Chat. Would you and others, do you think a player in this type of game would have their own little house? And maybe he could have a storage in it or something. And the reason I was kind of thinking that, I was like, oh, what if you also made it so there's a bed in your house? And it's like Stardew, right? You can use the bed to save your game. Or, you can make a bed in your house. You can make a bedroll. Bedroll. That's an item. So you could do a bedroll, right? And let's say you're out somewhere and not close, so you're not in one of these. You're off in a farther away land, and you want to save something, you drop your bedroll and you just save the game. So you drop it, save it, and you're good. Sheepin, there is now more sheep in the game. Tomat was here, and Tomat loves the sheep. So. There's Tomat. Hi. We all love the sheep. Yes, everybody loves the sheep. I was thinking about having in the harbor area, a whole bunch of sheep over here. Right? Wandering around doing stuff. Kelvar, good morning. If you have a house, make sure it has internet. Okay. But do you think that the idea of the player having a small little house, maybe with a storage box in it, and with a bed in there with the ability to save the game, right? Also a ability to make a bedroll, and maybe you buy it from wherever the shopkeep is going to be. You buy the bedroll and you can put it down anywhere in the game, right? I think so. I mean, I'm approaching the end of the first 2 months out of 6 months. what we were talking about earlier, because now we're starting to think of items. Exactly, Arwen. So we need bed, like a bedroll. And what does the bedroll do? Game save. There. All right. So we have bedroll. What does it do? Game save. Kelvar, you could probably squeeze in 3D multiplayer too. Now that GM has a better 3D, no? Possibly, yeah, we could do it. Just spin it out overnight, it'd be fine. What I would like would be the 2.5 look. I love that, right? I think that would be fun if I could get, if GameMaker made it so you could do sort of like a 2.5. Yeah. This game would be cool as a 2.5. It's almost there. It's almost there. But that would be fun. All right. We don't have better 3D yet. That's only starting to come out in GameMaker RT. Yeah, it is. I know. They've talked about it, you know, in some of their stuff. It's getting there, right? They're a little behind. That's all. But I think it would be fun if it was, if eventually it gets to the point where you could do like a 2.5 look. I think that'd be cool. Right now, you kind of fake it. That's all. Inkleb, was there anything particular you wanted your character to do? Or just walk around for a while? So I opened my Notepad. I use Notepad++. I really like it. Let me move that. It goes right there is fine. Yeah, you can do 2.5 now. I know. There's been a couple of people in here that are into the GameMaker 3D side of things. You're just good for hiking? Perfect. Yeah, for me to do the 2.5, I think it's mostly out of my zone right now. That's all. Maybe give the players some free tools, just like in you could like, hey, here's a tool. You might need this. All right, so your character is hiking. Gives a free tool. There we go. All right. And Interesting. Okay. So I think that's pretty good. We'll do a quick save there. Let's run through the game. Maybe we can come up with stuff as we're playing it. All right. So we start here. I tried to give a little direction by saying, oh, maybe you should grab some food, right? Come in. I think this room looks pretty good. It's not like nothing really going on down here yet. Oh, one of the things I was thinking about was I want to make it so that the NPCs are weather coordinated, right? So, can I help you? Hi. I want to make it so that if it's storming, the NPCs on the outside vanish. It looks like they go inside, right? Or maybe both. If it's nighttime, they're not out walking around. You'll find all of a sudden there's more people in the tavern in the nighttime. So then it just looks busy. All right, let's pick up the first quest. We'll talk to Brewer here. I need a job. Perfect. Rats. Okay. Accept. I saw that there was a shop. I want to go see what the shop is. Oh, I can buy a couple things. Click buy. I want a burger. Swamp burger. These two things heal 8, and the burger heals 20. So I'm gonna buy another one of the apples. And it shows you I gotta work on these icons. We have copper, silver, and gold. So now we'll go down, do our first quest. We have rats. All right. Now, this character that you're starting to see is kind of like he's always in the distance right now. You can't go talk to him yet, but there is going to be some dialogue and stuff to it. It's kind of like a watcher, right? Little older than time person, you know, that kind of stuff. All right, so we don't have skills, so that doesn't work. We have items. Quick item, we don't have our quick bar stuff set up. But inventory, it opens. And we can use it in here. I'm still trying to determine whether or not when you hit quick items, if it'll show you your quick bars, or you just open inventory and you can use the items from here. I think I'm leaning to you just open inventory and you can use your items. Versus having like a quick bar of items. I don't know. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. All right, let's switch. Let's do attack. We're going to do a light attack. Heavy attack. All right, killed the first one. Second one takes its place. All right. I'm out of action points. Can't do any more. And it's the enemy's turn, so we'll end my turn. We are in red focus, so everything is costing me more. I'm going to do a defend. Puts me in a little bubble, reduces my focus so that everything is going to be good. And now I'm back in the green, so my focus is perfect. It's +1 damage, and everything costs me less. Something still is giving me a partial damage. I know it's on the enemy side. I just haven't gone to figure it out what it is yet. All right. Attack. Let's do a heavy attack. Let's just get rid of that one. And we'll attack light. We'll open up this. I don't need to heal 20, so we'll just do 1 apple. I mean, overall, I feel like that is working pretty good. I'm probably not going to change much on the attack stuff until after I do another beta test round and I get some feedback on it. We have enough. We can go fight one more. I do have to fix my graphic here. I messed up. I was doing something. So one of the things in here, right? So one of your skills, it's called Dancing Blade, and it's a AoE. It attacks all the enemies on the board. I've started trying to work on the skills and the way it looks. And the design is kind of going to look like let's move this picture here, right? So you got a couple of different styles, right? You got single or multiple point node ones. You have a multiple points per node, or just single point per node. And I think that's the direction I'm going with it. Yeah. You start here, work your way up, and maybe one of these paths, right, can be a the companion. So either the companion is going to have their own skill tree, or it's built into yours and you add the points to it. Not quite sure yet. All right, couple things I need to defend. Need to use item. I'm at 11 out of 40. I'm going to do that. Oh, it didn't heal in the battle. That's not cool. Okay. Hold on. Note. Food item did not heal from battle. Inventory bag. Okay. Well, let's see. Attack. Attack. Light. We should make it. One rat's not going to do... Did 4 points. Heal. All right, let's go back up. Talk to there. Let's see what items you got. And every time you go and talk to the shop, it refreshes and has a different set of items. Oh, I don't even have... Oh, I don't have the money. All right. We have enough. We're going to turn in the quest. All right, so we hit level 2. We're now fully healed up. Perfect. So and it went up. So we're at 45. Damage went up as well. And I have 10 copper. Okay. Let's do the next job. Accept the quest. Excellent. Top of it. Let's talk to him. I want to do the shop. I have some money now. I have 12 copper. These are 4 coppers. I do need something. So this heals 10 for 8 or 8 for 4. Obviously this. I have 8 left. I'm going to pick a banana. I think this needs worked. Doesn't quite make sense to make it 8 copper, but it heals 10. All right. So my quest is I got to slay 8 lizard folk. There. I'm trying to figure out balancing too, right? Which is a little hard to come up with. On HP, like health points and damage. Yeah. All right. We'll do that. 3 attacks in turn. All right, heavy attack. Heavy attack. There. We're going to end turn. 5. 10. This might be close. 15. That's pretty close. I'm at 10 points. Okay. Heavy attack. Heavy attack. This is not going to make it. All right, so we're going to end turn, let it kill us, right? Because I need to test that. Five. Okay, character falls. Takes it a minute. You respawn back at town. And it says, oh, what a crazy dream I just had. Glad that didn't really happen. All right. Apple this. So that part's working okay. Come in here. Turn in the claws. got 15 copper, so we're going to pick up the next quest, skeletons. Tavian's been gone for a few days. Okay, this is where it talks about you're another person, right? Who will become part of your party. All right, I need one of those. There. Right? So you go out, you go to we're going to go to the cave. Hi. Arwen is chatting away. She thinks I sit here and talk to her. She's like, oh, you're talking. You must be for me. All right, it's too dark to continue in there. There must be another way to find light. You can stare at a black screen if you want and wander around, but that's probably not advised. So, leave. Come over this way. There is a chance you're going to find the wisp before having to do this, right? There, the wisp can help you see in the dark in those nasty caves. So you pick up the wisp, you now have your first companion. Oh, it's also sunset. We're gonna come in here, and now you can see in the cave. Gives you a little bigger zone. But there are no skeletons yet, so that's fine. I have the parts on me, so we're gonna go turn in those. And you can see the light is slightly getting darker as it gets to sunset. And, yep, turn in. We hit level 3. We're level, HP is 50 now. Got 20 copper. Perfect. When you finish level 3 or quest 3 and you come out, you have Paul the Lumberjack walking past. Now, if you wander off and do other things, when Paul gets to his location, the wisp is going to tell you, hey, Paul the Lumberjack just made it to town. He's near the forest. Come up and talk. Arwen, what you doing? Yeah. All right. Paul's axe needs sharpened. Think you can help? Sure, you can help, right? Take it to the blacksmith. Don't lose it. All right, so item acquired, Paul's axe. You open your inventory. There is the axe. I guess I need to make it what happens to quest item if inventory is full. All right, so I'll have to think about that. There we are. We got our sheep. I need to make it so that each one of those starts on a different frame so that they're not all identical looking. Come up, talk to the blacksmith. Paul's axe. Yep. Hand it over. It's gone. Talk to him again. Pick it up. And now we have the sharpened axe. All right, so Paul, got your axe. Stand back. Goes over and chops the tree. One more conversation there. The ancient forest is open again. Got more trees to go clean up. Good work out there. Oh, by the way, what's that? There's a witch out in the forest. Sells unique items, they say. I wouldn't mess with her. Noted. Watch yourself in there later. Off he goes to clear more trees. Ancient forest unlocked. Yeah. So now you can come into the ancient forest. Wander around. We're going to come up here. And perfect timing. It is nighttime and the witch shows up. And you can talk to the witch right now, but the store is not there yet. All right, so we'll just leave. Or maybe. Okay, I gotta fix that. And then the other thing that Paul did was got rid of more trees, right? So if you come all the way down, cleaned up this spot, there was a fallen tree here. So now you can also get to the marsh from the ancient forest. Overall, I think this is coming along pretty good. Feels like rain. Yep, it's rain. It's storming now. The wisp likes to talk to you. So yeah, and I want to make it so that when it's raining or something, all the people disappear a little bit out of town. Overall, that's kind of where I'm at with stuff. It's dark, but not dark for nighttime. Don't pick the flowers. Trust me on this one. Yeah. It's coming along. All right, let's see. Any other suggestions on here? No. All right. I think just about done for today. So after this, I'm gonna go upstairs and I need to work on the closet that I pulled everything out of. I need to sort through it, probably getting rid of some stuff and reorganizing the closet, right? But I need to get it all done before Jeepin goes live at 12:30 today. So in about roughly 2.5 hours, she will be live streaming. She's going to be watching. She's going to be playing Crimson Desert. So I think this is a good spot. I think the game's coming along good. I still have some stuff to work on. I need to work on the harbor a little more, and some extra quests and stuff in there. So, and Gleb, if you're still there, yes, I think I know I'll have your character give out a tool. So that'll be good. All right. Well, Sunday morning. Let's see who's on. And Arwen agrees. She's like, yep.
Oh my.
Oh my. Thanks for that, Gleb. Let's see. Sunday mornings are always a hit and miss on who is on. I don't see any GameMaker devs, but I know somebody we're gonna go visit. All right, so we're going to head off. We're gonna go visit Captain Onessa and see what he's currently working on. He's a great streamer, good person, and also is in the game. But I appreciate everyone. I don't forget, Jeep and Annie will be on at 12:30, so in about 2.5 hours, she'll be doing Crimson Desert. I will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Mountain Time for another couple hours of game dev, and we'll see what I'm able to complete and get done today. All right. Again, I appreciate everyone. I hope you have a great Sunday. And for those that are here in the States, we have a holiday on Monday. Be safe. And I will talk to everybody tomorrow. And we'll see you then. Have a great one, folks. I'll talk to you all later.